Do you believe having plenty of fat in your diet is good for your health and in particular your hormones? What about your liver health? Well, in today's video, I'm going to look at why having lots of saturated fat in particular in your diet can actually ruin your hormones and how it can also negatively affect the health of your liver. So stay tuned. Hi, it's Paul Tarb here, nutritionist and lifestyle coach at Raw and Healthy, helping you create healthy hormones, healthy guts, and the body of your dreams naturally. Now, just before we get started, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press that bell notification so you stay up to date with our latest videos. If you look into anything regarding nutrition, you'll no doubt be very aware of all the hype about how a high-fat diet is great for your health. You'll lose weight, you'll have more energy, you'll balance your hormones, you'll protect yourself from blood sugar problems because you're eating little or no sugar and carbs, and even protect yourself apparently from liver problems like non-alcoholic fatty liver disease because you eat much less sugar or no sugar. But is any of this actually true? Now, eating a diet that's high in fat will almost certainly mean consuming a large amount of what is called saturated fat. And there are four major dietary fats, which are saturated fats, trans fats, monosaturated fats, and polyunsaturated fats. Now, trans fats, which can come from processed foods and can be found in animal foods, have been shown to be harmful to the human body. But what about saturated fats? Can saturated fat, which is high in animal foods diets, which includes diets like Paleo and Keto, for example, negatively affect your hormones and liver health? I have a quick question for you. Do you follow a high-fat diet which has lots of saturated fat in it, and has it helped your health or maybe made it worse? As always, I'd love to hear from you, so please leave your comments in the comments section below. So many people still believe that sugar consumption is a big factor when it comes to type 2 diabetes, for example, but this has actually now been proven to be wrong. In fact, it has been found that saturated fat consumption in particular leads to what is called insulin resistance in the body, which is when your body's cells have more difficulty accepting the blood sugar that they need, and this then causes blood sugar levels to rise and eventually lead to, over time, to type 2 diabetes. So the saturated fat that is in significant amounts in animal products like meat, dairy and eggs can cause dysfunction to your body's cells, and so the hormone insulin begins to rise above its normal levels. How exactly does saturated fat do this? Well, when it's broken down and metabolized in the body, it produces more toxic products. And with this, it increases free radicals in the body and so leads to inflammation and cell dysfunction. So definitely not what you want if you want to stay healthy and disease-free. This is just one area where saturated fat unbalances your hormones and damages your body, but there are more. Researchers at the Imperial College of London carried out a study where they compared vegans and omnivores, and to make it a fair comparison, both groups had participants of slim build. Well, not only did they find that the vegans had less fat trapped in their muscle cells, which is better for blood sugar control, but they also had improved beta cell function, which are the cells that actually create the hormone insulin in your pancreas. This shows us that eating lots of saturated fat and so animal food heavy diets is bad news for insulin hormonal levels, blood sugar control, and actually increases your risk of type 2 diabetes. I think many people will find this a big surprise that saturated fat can have such a negative effect upon your health. So now let's look at liver health and saturated fat consumption. A small study, but a very interesting one, looked at 14 lean and healthy participants and gave them a high-fat meal which contained around 50% of its content as saturated fat. Well, the researchers noticed an immediate increase in fat accumulation and changes in liver metabolism were observed. The high-fat meal also led to elevated triglycerides, which is a fat, an increased insulin resistance, and increased glucagon, a hormone that increases glucose levels in the bloodstream. The study noted that saturated fat ingestion rapidly increases fat storage in the liver and insulin resistance. This and other changes may contribute to the development of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. The liver is a very important organ when it comes to your hormonal health, so it's not something you want to overload with lots of fat. So these are not good findings if you eat high-fat foods, and specifically with lots of saturated fat in them. Now, this is a study, but what about the real world? Well, as we help people change to a high-carb, low-fat diet, we have witnessed over the years how dropping high-fat meals and lots of animal foods from your diet can have a dramatic and positive effects upon people's health. A lowering of inflammation, weight loss, more energy, better quality of sleep, balanced blood sugar levels, better gut health, and no constipation. And a recent example worth sharing with you, I think, from a client I worked with recently and who had previously followed a paleo diet was an incident she shared with me regarding a high-fat meal she had at a restaurant which included ghee, which is made from cow's milk. For 2 days following the meal, she experienced hot flashes at night, which had not been there before the high-fat meal, and which went away again after 2 days and her continuation of eating lower-fat meals. And hot flashes are a common symptom experienced often due to changing estrogen hormonal levels before, during, and after the menopause. From this, she concluded that the high saturated fat meal with the ghee in it was the trigger for her hot flashes. After she omitted any high fat meals from her diet, then the hot flashes ceased and did not come back. Now, this is something we have seen before in other clients, and when you go low fat and balance your fat intake properly, their symptoms are either largely improved or completely disappear, and their hormones become much more balanced. Clients we've had who have suffered with difficult PMS symptoms every month found a great improvement actually when they started balancing their fat intake properly and going lower fat. So if you're wondering, great, so how do I change my own eating plan to one that's health promoting, low fat, high carbohydrate, whole plant foods one that I've talked about in this video today? Well, I would like to invite you to our free online masterclass where you can learn the 5 steps that our clients use to balance their hormones naturally, lose weight between 10 and 50 pounds of excess weight without any carbohydrate restriction, and achieve the body of their dreams. So the link for that is www.rawesomehealthy.com/webinar. Thanks for watching, and I've also linked this video to another video that talks about high fat diet or low fat diet, how much fat should you eat?